Well, it's my 2014 Fiat Ducato van that I bought back in 2021 for £6,000 off a random guy on eBay. I'm a white van man now, baby. 3 years later, with literally zero building experience, I've now converted this empty ex-auto glass delivery van into my beloved camper van called Mary. Oh, Mary, you've been shat on already. 2 months ago, I actually decided that I wanted to rip out the inside of the van to make some upgrades and changes after using it extensively over the last few years. Careful, slowly does it, slowly flipping does it. Trust me when I say that building this van from what it was to what it is now took a lot of patience. We're getting there, people. Persistence, blood, sweat and tears, and there were thousands of mistakes that happened along the way. Stupidly, before I had time to finish the upgrades on Mary, me and my twin brother Ed, we decided to buy another van, and that was a really stupid idea. Whoa, stop! Anyway, today we're back, and in this video I'm hoping to get all of the upgrades and modifications done and finally build my dream camper van. Also, stick around until the end of the video because unfortunately I've got some very sad news. However, it could make all of your dreams come true. So there's still loads and loads of little changes, little improvements and things I want to tweak inside the van. As ever, the more you use something, the more you realise what works, what doesn't work, which is the entire reason of wanting to make these small little changes because, you know, I've used this van now for 2 or 3 years. I've been to Austria in freezing cold, -15 degrees. I've been to absolutely boiling hot weather in France or in Germany where we went for the Euros. It's only from using the van that I've realised what I want to adjust, what I want to tweak and change. And let me show you my endless list of things that I want to do to the van to get it completely finished. Oh man, there is a lot to do. Oh wow, I thought it was done, but it's not done. Flipping heck. I think that's it. To be honest, there are more things on my list, and definitely there's going to be more things as I start to work on the van, but that for right now definitely gives me a few jobs to do. Just to show you where we're currently at, I need to take down all of these flags because the Euros is now over. I still need to redo these seat covers, which I've got some fabric arriving. I need to put some shelves and things in these cupboard, tidy them up a little bit. Add the trim on the recess again just to tidy that up. I also want to add an LED strip light in the cab, and then another thing I want to do is also add a kind of an office desk table here. So yeah, plenty to do. I'm going to crack on and try and do one thing at a time, which is going to be taking down this kitchen cupboard for the second or third or fourth or fifth time and put some shelves in there and just tidy it up and also put the LED light back in. So before I could take down the kitchen cupboard and start modifying it, I wanted to strip down all of the flags we'd put up for the Euros. Right, so I just want to show you what the cupboard currently looks like, and hopefully in the next few hours it should look completely different. I want to do things properly for once, and I mean it. So first things first, for me to finally upgrade my kitchen cupboard for the last and final time. Oh Jesus, that's a little bit tight, isn't it? Ooh. I needed to take it all off the wall again. Oh. Okay, kitchen cupboard is down for the third time, I think. I promise you this will be the last time I ever touch this thing. The next step was to sand back the ply base so it was smooth as a baby's bottom, and then I wanted to add some grey carpet to the inside to cover and hide any carpentry DIY sins that I'd done in the past. I was basically trying to tuck the carpet underneath the pieces of wood on the sides just to make it all as neat as possible and so the edges were nice and clean. And then I could grab the spray adhesive glue and stick it all down. Oh God. Oh, for fuck's sake. Attempting to put the cupboard back up on my own proved to be a bit of a pain in the arse. Oh. Now with the cupboard finally back up, that was an absolute nightmare. I had to drill a hole through the wood so that I could wire back in an LED strip light underneath. This time I wanted to take things a step further because I also wanted to add an LED strip light with a motion sensor PIR inside the cupboard for when I'm opening and closing the door. So it's pretty simple to wire this in. Just connect the positive wire to the positive terminal and then the negative to the negative, and then just connect into the power source. Whoa! We have lights in the cupboard, that's good. Happy days. The issue is we don't want it on all the time. This light should now go off because pretend that the door is closed. Wait a few seconds. Patience, Will. Patience. Please turn off now. I think I might have done the wiring the wrong way round because now look, when I cover this, Et voila! The motion sensor PIR light is wired in. Now time to wire in the switch and the LED strip underneath the cupboard. Guys, can we just have a little heart to heart please, because it's now the next day. I still haven't finished the cupboards or the wiring or putting shelves in it. This is the current state of affairs at the workshop. Everything scattered all over the place. Every time I think I have the right bits and bobs, right cable, right screws, right pieces of shrink wrap connectors or whatever it is, I end up not having what I need. Inside the van, I've got more electrical connectors, more crimps and stuff just scattered absolutely everywhere. And I'm going to be totally honest with you, yesterday, was a really frustrating day because I genuinely thought I would be able to get both cupboards fully done yesterday. I'm going to get a little bit philosophical, I think, here, and I just constantly beat myself up. I thought it would be really quick, really easy, and it turns out that it's taken me 1,000 times longer than I ever expected it to. And I get really wound up, really frustrated, really angry, annoyed at myself. I start beating myself up thinking, how the fuck can it take me this long? I'm learning all of this stuff on the go, on the job. I know I say this all the time, but I'm not a carpenter, an electrician, a van builder. I know some of you guys think I'm a professional van builder. Trust me, I'm not. I'm just somebody that enjoys giving things a go and learning as I go, but that also means that things take so much longer. And I think I just need to lower my expectations and stop expecting or putting pressure on myself to get certain tasks done within a certain time frame. Anyway, we move on, we learn as we go, and the next steps for this is wire in this switch and then build some storage in here, and then tidy up the workshop and crack on with this cupboard and then the rest of the upgrades that need to be done. So with a lot of my negative self-talk and frustration going on, I just had to crack on with the job at hand. Finishing off connecting the cables by soldering them together and then adding some heat shrink. According to my calculations, everything should work. Fingers crossed. Touch some wood. Okay, the motion sensor light, is that working? Yes. Does the light underneath work? I am now going to tidy up all of these cables because I've got joins here, I've got these little wire splicer connectors which enable you to add on more power and stuff like that. It's just an absolute mess. I'm going to try and hide the cables up in the roof. Everything is shrink wrapped, some of it is taped. Hopefully it's all nice and safe. With all the cables and wires all tidied up and looking so much better now, I made this little template for inside the cupboard which I could use on a piece of 12mm ply to trace the shape that I needed to cut out. It was now time to actually start turning this big empty cupboard into some sort of organised storage. So I had these little black connector blocks lying around and I thought they'd be perfect for what I was doing. So they've got 2 holes on the side and then 1 on the top, which means you can use them to join pieces of wood together. I just had to make sure everything was relatively level and square, and then I literally just had to screw it all together. Then it was just a matter of rinse and repeat, installing another divider just a little bit further to the right, and then adding this bougie little shelf, which I gotta say, I absolutely love. And again, all of this just helps to break up the space and utilise the cupboard a little bit better. It looks uneven. Nothing is square in this van. I don't get it. I'm just doing it by eye. Ow! A little bit of a sand down to tidy it all up, a little bit of a hoover, and then I could add the hinges back onto the face, ready for the door. Woo! Time to put the door back on, which I'm not sure how I'm going to do this by myself. Oh, wrong way round. That's a good start, isn't it? Why is that so difficult? Oh. How are we looking, Ducky? We're looking pretty damn good, if I do say so myself. I'm going to put a gas strut in, just to hold it up a little bit better. Just got to work out where to put the bloody things. Somewhere like that. Let's see. Oh dear. What is the science to make this close but also hold up? Does that need to come further down? If anybody's a carpenter and wants to come and give me some basic carpentry lessons, please let me know. Get in touch, because I'd love to learn some basic DIY carpentry skills that I can then use for life. It would be nice not to have to spend 2 days to do one cupboard which was already built. Finally, after having a bit of a play around and working out exactly where to screw the gas struts into. Right, ready? I just had to repeat the same process on the other side, and then after almost 2 days, my kitchen cupboard was upgraded. I think after 2 days, I can finally tick some stuff off the list. Kitchen LED switch, done. Shelves in the cupboards, kind of done. Gas struts in the cupboard, also kind of done. So the next thing on the list, as things are slowly starting to get ticked off, is this. Change cupboard doors in the kitchen. This is a job, honestly, that I have wanted to do for the last 2 years. Because, as you can see, my 3 bottom cupboards are fabric. They're completely different to the actual wood on the other cupboard doors. Reason for that is I ran out of wood. However, I've now got more wood. So hopefully, with the click of my fingers, this should all be matching, all lined back up, and the job will be done. Let's see if this works. Damn it. Third time lucky. This click thing doesn't work. Oh my god, I hate carpentry, I hate joinery. Frickin' heck, I thought just recutting a piece of this would be simple enough, and now I can't line the bloody cupboard up, and I'm losing my head. How difficult is this? Oh. Let's try another click and see what the hell happens. And just like that, with a click of my fingers, a lot of swearing, and 3 days later, the final kitchen was finished and complete with a few extra bits of detail just to spice it up. So here we have it. The final kitchen is done and dusted. Obviously the cupboard, as you've seen, all nicely modified, so I've got some storage in there. I've gone and put up a spice rack. However, I know when I actually drive, this isn't going to be very good because you're going to get all of that. So if anybody's got any idea of how to reduce the rattling, let me know. In terms of the rest of the kitchen, most of it has stayed pretty much exactly the same. However, these cupboards here, or the 2 drawers, sorry, and the cupboard on the right, I've obviously changed for what I thought was the same colour wood. B&Q, annoyingly, seems to have changed the shade of wood. As you can see, they're not exactly 100% the same. Oh my god, trying to put those drawers back and get every individual line and gap between the woods exactly the same was an absolute nightmare. And to be honest with you, it's not perfect at all. But the bottom drawer does slide in and out quite nicely. This one is still a little bit of a pain in the arse. Here we go. What have I done? Sort the crack in the wood. I basically just put some sealant to cover up a gap, so that is done. The toothbrush holder is back in, happy days. I've changed the cupboard doors in the kitchen. I've reapplied the wood edging. Next job. Okay, so the next job on the list is to redo the seat covers. Neil, I'm so sorry, because he actually sewed these beautiful seat covers for me years ago when he helped me build the van. And you know what? They've been bloody great. They've lasted a long time. However, there's a lot of oil, dirty food, and just general wear and tear on this fabric material. It doesn't look very nice or fresh anymore. So what I've done is, I've got some new fabric, which I haven't even opened yet, so I actually have no idea what this is going to look like. I decided, ooh, okay, is like, what do they call it? Fox, F-A-U-X leather. It's got a slightly different texture to it. And you can see it's kind of got like that scaly crocodile type texture compared to this, which isn't wipeable. It's a pain in the arse to hoover. So hopefully this should last a lot longer in the van. It is a lot brighter. You can obviously see the colour difference there. I'm not going to attempt to sew. I'm going to cheat the system and just use a staple gun, and hopefully that should work. Oh, I feel so bad ripping this apart, but I'm sorry, Neil. Oh, Coy, you sure sewed that good, didn't you? First thing I'm going to do, from what I've seen on the internet, is cut a sheet of ply on the bottom of this to then staple the leather to. Never done this before, so let's see what happens. One of these bad boys. Woo! It's got staples in it. Probably going to help if I cut the right amount of length on this. Do it properly, Will. Do it properly. That's the whole point of this workshop. Do it properly. So the first step was to cut down the fabric to size, which I actually thought I'd measured correctly, but I'd left it just a little bit too tight. Okay, that isn't exactly how I wanted it. I don't actually know how to wrap a present, so I don't know how this is going to turn out. Does that go like that? Oh! No, shit. We don't want the yellow sticking out, do we? I should have thought this through. Let me watch this YouTube video again. Wow, it just makes it look so easy.
I start with the long sides and I just fold the fabric up over the edge and staple it into the back.
Reloading. So trying to make this cushion and fabric look as tidy and neat as I possibly could was rather fiddly with my serious lack of Christmas present wrapping skills. Did he fold that in? How'd you get a straight line there? Honestly, they're horrendous. How the fuck did he do this? How did he make it look so easy? After a bit of inspiration from watching some YouTube videos, I'd kind of understood the general process. Okay, here we have it. One new cushion seat later. Don't get me wrong. It certainly doesn't look pretty underneath. However, hopefully nobody looks. Only you guys know. My craft skills, as with everything related to doing van builds, which is the whole trade of electricians, carpenters, all of that stuff, it needs to be improved, which is why I want to do another van build and why I wanted to do some of these upgrades. And a big reason why I wanted to get the workshop, because I want to improve using my hands, because I think it is such a good skill to have throughout life. And the good thing is, I'm willing to give anything a go. It just may take me a lot longer than other people. This is just brilliant. I just went to test out my new cushion. Fits right in perfectly, lovely jubbly. Went to sat on it. It sounds like a bloody woofy cushion. Feels like a parachute. I'm going to redo this tomorrow as well as the other two. Oh my god. After a failed first attempt with the seat covers, I'd now decided after a good night's sleep that I absolutely hated the new white fabric that I'd chosen. So I came back a few days later with this much nicer grey fabric, which looks way better. The only issue is my wrapping skills still hadn't improved. Fucking that looks shite. Anyway, after a bit more time, you know what they say, practice makes perfect, and the more I did it, the better I was getting. This side's pretty good actually, but this side, my god. So my technique to try and make the cushions look as good as they possibly could was to staple the sides, then I'd cut a straight line at the edge of the foam and then cut out a little triangle wedge to help the corners all fold in nicely. Then just staple it all together to make it nice and tight. Woo! Damn, that looks good. To finish it all off, I'd then grab the level and my Stanley knife to cut the underneath fabric as straight and evenly as I could. Damn, Daniel! Would you look at that? That is not too bad at all. I can't lie, I was feeling pretty smug and happy with myself that the second cushion had come out so goddamn good. So now I just had one more left to do. We're done. I think we're done. The seats are now refabricated, re-upholstered, whatever you want to call it. I changed the fabric. I decided that I absolutely hated that cream kind of weird crocodile type texture that I'd chosen before. So as always, I've wasted more money, but to be fair, I'm absolutely chuffed with how these have come out. I just ordered this fabric from Amazon a couple of days ago. It's arrived. It was good fun to practice, trying to get it all square and make it look nice, neat and tidy, and I think I've actually done a decent job of it for once. Can you see the sweat coming off my face? I'm drenched. Redo the seat covers. My god, another job that I meant to do so long ago is finally done, and I'm chuffed with it. Next thing we're going to do is get this bloody sliding table sanded down, looking nice and pretty, nice bit of oil on it, and then that's done. So this sliding table I'd recently just upgraded, and I put it on some runners either side, because before it used to be a right pain in the arse to pull in and out. When somebody is actually lying on the bed and you've got weight on the mattress, the table won't go in or out. So I just sanded it down with some 120 grit sandpaper, which didn't do a huge amount, to be honest with you. Whoa. That was close. Then I've always wanted to try this Osmo wood oil to see what finish I could get on the wood. Well, that's just good, isn't it? I can't open the bloody bottle. I know there's various ways to apply wood oil, but I wasn't sure if I had the right tools with me, so I just used a paintbrush to brush it all over the wood, and then a microfiber cloth to wipe any excess oil away. It doesn't look any different. Why did I just waste my time? I'm sure there's a much better way of doing this, so if you know, please, as always, put it in the comments so I can read and learn. I did let the oil dry before I put it back in place, but the next thing was to try and find a nice, neat way to fix a front cover to the table just to finish it all off. Oh, this is rather difficult to do. I'd already drilled some pocket holes under the table because my plan was to screw from underneath the table into the faseboards so no screws would be visible on the front face. I also had a problem whilst I was away in Germany where the table would hit the oven door, so I made sure to use 2 pieces of off-cut ply and space off the front cover to the table to make sure it doesn't hit the oven door. That'll all make sense in a minute. I love it! I've done a thing, man! The last final bit to finish off my masterpiece of a table was to add this little bit of trim on the bottom. And oh my god, I was very excited because I now had an excuse to use my brand new nail gun. Wow, that was a bit higher than expected, but hey ho. This is the all important bit. Does it miss the oven handle and also the oven door? According to my calculations, it should. Oh boy, I've done it. Look at that. That's a thing of absolute beauty. I'm absolutely chuffed with that. It is the simple pleasures in life. Now why don't I show you a nice, sexy little montage of the inside of this van. Guys, can I be honest for just a minute and let's have a heart to heart? Because at the beginning of the video, I said this. Stick around until the end of the video because unfortunately, I've got some very, very sad news. However, it could make all of your dreams come true. And there's a good reason why I said that. Because I had every intention of letting you guys know that I am going to be raffling off Mary, my camper van, for £5, and one of you guys could have the opportunity of winning her. And I was going to do the raffle, and I was going to go ahead with it, and let you guys know that for a price of a fancy coffee, you can win my camper van. However, I'm going, and I have been going back and forth in my head for the last couple of days, deciding, is it really something that I want to do to get rid of this van? And the whole reason behind the raffle and me even mentioning this is because for the last few weeks, or to be honest, for the last month, I haven't wanted to go away in the van. I haven't really been feeling like I've wanted to just go and have some van life adventures. And I genuinely thought I was kind of falling out of love with this van and just camper vans and stuff in general. However, as the days have progressed and I've started to do all of these little tweaks and adjustments to this van to make it a lot more tidier and more polished and finished, I've started to think, is getting rid of Mary the best thing to do? And I'm really not sure, to be honest with you. I'm going back and forth in my head. You know, the biggest reason for me why I wanted to actually get rid of this van and to raffle it off was, one, because I thought it would just be so awesome for one of you guys to actually win her for £5. I thought that would be so bloody cool. Somebody that has hopefully watched all of the journey from when I bought this van, from when I converted her, from when I've done 100 different stealth camping videos in her to van life adventures. You know, you guys have watched the whole progression of me buying this van, the whole progression of me developing skills, carpentry, mechanics, electrics, trying things I've never done before. You've seen me cry, you've seen me stressed, you've seen me bleed. I've made love in this van. I've fallen out in love with this van. But now, I don't know what to do with her because, like I said, I was so set on the idea of getting rid of her. I didn't want two vans. Right now, I've got the Ford Transit Amazon delivery van, which we are going to be converting into a camper van. And I've also got Mary, which of course I've had for now the last 3 years. Also, from a personal point of view, after going away to Germany with my brother, I realised I would love to get a slightly bigger van because, you know, living in a van of this size with two people, two full-grown adults for a long period of time, it's not something that is that pleasurable because there's not a huge amount of space in there. I'd love to get a bigger, old-school, more retro camper van or motorhome which I can renovate and convert and then do more long-term travel in that with Evie in the future around Europe, America, Canada, all of that type of stuff, which again is another reason why I wanted to get rid of Mary, is because that money that the raffle generates can then go back into the channel and back into another bigger van, which would then be the next project. But honestly, the more I kind of look at this van and look at the things that I've done to it in this video, and just in terms of tidying things up, I'm really struggling of the idea of letting her go. And it's not to say that I will have this van forever, because all good stories come to an end. And I thought my story with this van was coming to an end and had come to an end. But now perhaps there's another chapter. I'm sorry I'm getting all can't even say that word, philosophical on you. But this van has honestly taught me so much about life. It's been through so much over the last couple of years with me personally, the channel, the growth of the channel, my skills in terms of DIY. There's still more things ideally that I'd like to do to this van in terms of painting the whole outside, doing like the bodywork, sorting all of that out. And yeah, I can't decide. I don't know what I'm going to do with her. I don't know. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Let me know all of your thoughts and opinions on all of that. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, give the video a like, make sure to subscribe, and do not worry because there's still at least a few more videos of me fully getting this van finished, as there's a couple more tasks and jobs left to do. Catch you in the next one.